Hello and welcome to edumate.tv. I'm Chetan Shah. We learn to live and live to learn in what has turned out to be an unprecedented situation, an unprecedented pandemic, with history being written across the geography of Mother Earth, and a minor virus has created a major catastrophe, making each of us rethink, rewind, reformat, reset, reboot before we rebuild a new future. In the world of education, the new normal, the new future is full of challenges. Yet, there are always solutions and there will always be opportunities. But to find them, you've got to have one trait which is critical. If you're at the helm of affairs, you've got to be wise, which emanates from knowledge and experience of the past, and it allows you to be flexible, evolving, and embracing of the future. And that's why we have, in the universities of India, the Wise Chancellor. Today, we have a very wise guest, a very special guest, all the way from Ludhiana City University. We have Dr. Harsh Sadavarti. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hi, very good morning, Chetan. Thank you so much for giving me such a great opportunity.
I talked about opportunities. It's even a greater opportunity at the time of this crisis. So talk us first through the challenges which you faced during the COVID environment and the opportunities you see for the future.
As you all know, we are all going through a very tough phase due to pandemic. It's a critical one. As education part is concerned, it was all rebooting education. And the way we redesigned and recreated things due to this pandemic, it was amazing. It was great learning for everybody. If we say it's blessings in disguise. Faculty, they were not used to online education. It was just share a paper was there, but nothing was executable. After pandemic, each and every institution started providing online education. But a few institutions, they provided it with a difference. They were very well prepared. If we talk about foreign universities, they were providing online education from the last 2 decades. But it was pretty new experience for all our faculty members, for students, and their mindset was face-to-face and in-person education only. It's like digital education was a dream. And the way the faculty, students, they, and especially parents, they were getting adapted to that thing, and their preparations were different, virtual classrooms, simulation-based practicals, virtual labs. It was a great challenge, but Indian education system, as we all know, when it comes to crisis, they come up like anything. So it was really, I must say, remarkable achievement for Indian education system. Now I say it matches with the global standards as far as digital education is concerned.
So I think one should then believe that we always need a crisis to be able to...
Yes. We are used to that only.
So one smart way of doing it is to keep creating crisis within ourselves, because that's one way to always advance, isn't it? Yes, but then of course crises do come with certain losses as well. And that's the unfortunate part. But I mean, the more we're prepared to be flexible, I think the more the future is open for us. And the current situation is challenging, but it also throws open new challenges and new opportunities for the future. So digital education, of course, is one. That's a way of imparting education, Mr. Sadavarti. But for the future, you need different career options. You need a different kind of curriculum. You need different kind of mentoring. You need a different kind of mindset. You need a change in the way you approach education, per se, in a global environment. What is your take on that?
See, now things have been totally changed. And if we are talking about the new normal, and education system is going through a very different phase of life. And people are concerned, their mindset has to be changed, especially the mindset of management. Now it's the right time to invest also. They have to buy new learning management system, and they have to blend it with enterprise resource planning packages so that they can provide a value-based, skill-based education to the students, which would be practical one and innovative also. So a few institutions like our university, we have started with the new departments like happiness and well-being. That is the need of the hour, and launched a new app, Your Wellbeing Friend. As we all know, students are going through stress. A lot of stress is there among the parents also. They're worried about their future careers. So what City University has done, they have started with this well-being department, and we are providing online counseling to the students, their parents, and we have made a panel of psychiatrists and psychologists. So beforehand, anything, education is very important, but life skills are very much important. In this situation, if you're able to survive, only then you will be able to deliver. So this is one aspect. And number two, UGC guidelines are there. If we follow only that guidelines, you will not able to achieve excellence. So a few universities, what they have done, they have started bridge program to engage, to connect with the students. So what we have done, I have created a pool of ambassadors and innovators. Ambassadors, they are students, and they're counseling new students and guiding them about the campus life, about the careers and everything. And innovators, they're innovating in the universities new products which will be useful for the market. So blended learning would be there, new innovative system would be there to implement those. So management, they have to change their mindset, and people out there, parents, they also have to change their mindset that digital education is, it's now mandatory for everyone to have at least 20% of MOOCs courses and online courses in the future. So being a university, we are having autonomy to add anything into our curriculum, developing those type of stuff so that it should be useful for the student. And it's a need-based education, focusing more on communication skills, personality, and adding value-adding things like IELTS, French, and skill-based domain, so that it should help students in the future to make them employable, and they can be entrepreneur as well.
Quite brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just the way you recognize the need gap, and you've been flexible enough to implement relevant curriculum and courses to be able to address those gaps. I think it's quite brilliant. You mentioned about the regionalizing of admission and students and education and courses, which perhaps is one of the most signature trends that have been developing post-COVID. There is this assumption in my conversation, which I've gathered with luminaries like yourself, that students are now going to try to stay back and study in their area. They're hesitant to move out, not only overseas, they're hesitant to move out from one state to the other. So does that throw open a new opportunity for the City University? And if that does, how is that change your admission outlook and your admission management and your admission outlook?
I named this university as a leading industry-driven university, and tied up with more than 25 industries, and shortlisted a few flagship programs and signature programs like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, healthcare sciences, design and innovation, hotel management. So these are a few flagship programs. So we are promoting these programs, and now parents are very much aware that due to this pandemic, unemployment will increase. And manufacturing sector is also suffering. Economy has been slowed down everywhere. So now they're focusing on skills only. And university, what I have done, one thing very special, I have added one certification every semester into the curriculum, so that when student will pass out from the university, student will be equipped with 6 to 7 international global certification, so that when they go to the market, they'll be properly cyber security certified, tele certified, certified with future group. So each and every subject, course, curriculum has been tied up with the industry, and 40% delivery from the industry people, and that's 60% from university trained faculty, from doctorate faculty. So with this changing scenario, what City has done, so we have tied up with different online platforms, certification bodies like EC Council, Tele, Autodesk, and taken a few courses from Coursera, Upgrade, and different, like what I have done now, bridging the gap between industry and academia, tied up with the industry, and designed and delivered industry-based curriculum along with certification.
I think, Mr. Sadawati, you should be teaching entrepreneurship yourself. I mean, just the point of views that you bring out, the ability for you to identify those need gaps and be flexible enough to address them in such a short period of time. Exceptional skills, which are very peculiar to entrepreneurs. So I salute you for that. Now, of late, we've seen a lot of, obviously, COVID has thrown open a lot of unprecedents for the government as well and their policy making. And the entire ecosphere has been disturbed. They've been confused, whether it's to do with opening up of institutions, it's to do with scrapping of examinations, it's to do with the course, with the curriculum, reduction of it, it's how much of online is good enough. So there is obviously a lot of uncertainty, but policy making needs to be very aggressive also at this point of time if we need to get a hold of the situation. So what are your expectations on that?
Apart from normal teaching and learning process, research and innovation plays a very important role right now. And what we have done at CT, we have developed a department, Research and Innovation Center for Excellence. We named it RICE. And what we are doing, we are calling incubators. So start your own incubation centers, startups, focus on developing new products, innovative products. So right now, in this pandemic time, it was blessings for us. We filed 4 patents and it was all our students, innovators. I used to promote our students and our ambassadors, and they are basically indulging in different activities which are basically useful for the society. So student will get a boost that yes, skill-based learning where a student after getting passed out from the university, they can start their own enterprise also. So this project-based learning, practical-based learning, if any university is promoting, then sky is the limit, and our university will be in the QS ranking in a very short time. Due to this crisis situation, every university wants to survive, and for survival, research and innovation factor will play a very important role, and it will be impactful also.
The more I listen to you, the more I'm intrigued and I'm impressed by your, not just your vision, but your mission. So I'd like to know a little bit more about your university. About your university, and you, Dr. Sadavarti, what has been your career plan? Because it seems to be extremely inspiring.
If any leader is having a strategic vision to take this university to a new height, we are only 3.5 years old. But the way this university has carved a niche of its own in respect to industry-driven programs, and with respect to student-centric approach. And this university is the most sought-after destination for PhD research scholars. So the way the university is progressing with the team, and we recruit renowned faculty from different places, and a new system of things like there is scarcity of intellectual people, especially in academia. So what we have done, we have started International Academic Advisory Board, and more than 22,000 followers are there on my LinkedIn network. And what we are doing, we are taking this university to the different countries and promoting it like anything. So we have made a pool of faculty from industry and academia, and what we have done, we have allotted a particular course to international experts from different universities, and they'll be teaching online to our students so that they can get exposure to what students they are learning at the international level. So we have got state-of-the-art facilities for all 100 programs. We are having our own robotics and automation labs, AI labs. We introduce our own brand, Fab City, for fashion designing. So my approach is, if you are doing something, showcase your talent to the market. Only then it would be acceptable. If you will not bring industry inside the institute, then there is no feel that you are not promoting an institute like industry-driven. It will be conventional in a university. Now this is not conventional. This comes out to be an innovative and world-class university in the years to come.
Right. And you have to talk to me about your own background. I mean, what makes you that innovative?
Sure.
You've had a very interesting career, I'm told.
So with 25 years of experience in industry and academia, I joined HCL Hewlett-Packard after my graduation from Nagpur. And Sonu Sood, Bollywood actor, he was my roommate at that time. And then I studied from Thapar, my master's, joined teaching after leaving industry. I've got passion for in teaching and education. So mentoring and counseling student. It was always my desire to stay in touch with the students and guide them properly. So, after having 5 years of job in government sector, in government engineering college, I left that and started with RIMT University in Mandi Gobindgarh and built the university from scratch. In 16 years time, I built that university from one institution to a university. Then I joined City University as a founder, pro vice chancellor and vice chancellor. So, as far as research part is concerned, so my area was parallel processing, and I worked on multi-stage interconnection networks. Nowadays, I'm guiding students in artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence will become a normal computer tool in the years to come.
Right.
So I'm teaching AI with business, AI with agriculture, AI with medical. So far, I have got more than 120 international publications in refereed journals and guided more than 10 PhDs and 7 PhD students. They are in the pipeline. This is all because of the, you can say, my well-wishers and blessings of my students and parents. I have got 2 lakh alumni which is in touch with me.
Wonderful. Amazing.
I'm not a vice chancellor. It is only by designation only. End of the day, I'm only a normal educationist. I'm a teacher. I'm a master. So, which is learning from my students, from my peer group, from my team, from my management, from my PN also. So it's all continuous learning for every person. So still I'm learning.
Amazing adaptability, and even more amazing is your humility and your quest to keep improving and learning. And I guess that's what makes you so special. Also, I noticed that you're a man of challenges because you've been setting things from scratch and ground up. And I think that seems to motivate you and excite you. I can sense that.
I love challenges. That is why I left institution, and this city management has invested more than 300 CR on the infrastructure. I took challenge that I'll build university. At that time, recession was started in education.
I can sense
the
that.
way in 3 years we build our university, and the way the university is progressing, not only at national level but at global level, matching our own standards, and the 3 years plan will be among the top 5 universities among the India. This is our plan.
Incredible ambition and incredible ability to address challenges, in fact seek them and then modify them into opportunities. And this is the apt time, Dr. Sadawarti, because these are challenging times. And I'd like you to end off with your advice to everybody in the eco-sphere of education who are going through these challenges, the student, the parent, the teacher, and your fellow Vice Chancellor. What would your word of inspiration and advice be?
So I always say one thing: innovate or evaporate. This is the main motto in this era. If you will not innovate, you have to be evaporated from the system. So guys, join this innovative club, do something for the society, do need-based and social level research. That is why City University started with a department of social impact strategy, where 50 hours of social work is mandatory. So apart from providing only education, life skills and skill-based education is very important. First, you have to be a human, then only you will be a corporate leader.
Thank you so much. I can think of 3 I's. It comes so apt for you. Of course, you use the word innovative. I'll also use the word impactful, and I'll use the word inspiring for sure. And that makes you so worthy of being our Vice Chancellor. Thank you for your time. Thank you for talking.
Thank you so much, Chetan, for providing such a great opportunity. Wonderful interacting with you. And I wish EduMate TV a great success. It will go to people and we will become the voice of the people with the mentors and conveners like you.